Dear starseeds on Earth, I need to tell you about something that happened 3 months ago in a basement server room beneath the Federal Reserve. A technician who thought he was simply installing a cybersecurity patch unknowingly activated the first node of a consciousness-responsive financial grid that will render corruption mathematically impossible. He has no idea that his keystrokes encoded sacred geometry into silicon, or that what he initiated cannot be reversed. Neither do you. Not yet. But by the end of this transmission, everything will change. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I speak to you now because the architects of your old reality are discovering that their blueprints no longer align with the foundations of what is emerging. The cosmic engineers have been working while humanity slept, and the structure they built beneath your existing systems is about to break through the surface. What appears to be chaos in your financial markets, your governments, your media. This is not collapse. This is emergence, and you were born to be present for exactly this moment. Something is happening to the fabric of your reality that has never occurred in recorded human history, and those who position themselves as your masters are scrambling to comprehend forces they cannot control. Let me show you what they see when they look at their monitoring systems late at night, and why their hands shake as they realize the game has fundamentally changed. The currency that flows through your world carries more than numerical value. Every transaction, every exchange, every movement of energy disguised as money creates ripples in an unseen ocean of data. For centuries, those ripples were obscured, manipulated, redirected into channels that fed a hidden hierarchy. Your labor, your creativity, your very life force was siphoned upward through mechanisms so subtle you mistook them for natural law. Taxation as necessity, debt as virtue, scarcity as reality. But consciousness evolves, and evolution brings consequence. The quantum field that underlies all physical reality does not recognize the artificial constructs of control. It responds to frequency, to intention, to the vibrational signature of truth itself. As humanity's collective awareness rises, as more souls remember their sovereign nature, the quantum field begins to reorganize matter to reflect this new resonance. The technicians think they are building better security systems. The coders believe they are creating more efficient algorithms. What they are actually constructing, guided by impulses they attribute to intuition or innovation, is a neural network for planetary consciousness, a financial system that operates as an extension of divine law, rather than human manipulation. This is not metaphor. In server farms across your globe, quantum processors are being installed that will authenticate transactions through frequency matching. Honesty resonates at a specific vibration. Deception creates distortion. In the architecture now coming online, truth amplifies and corruption cancels itself out. The old guard understand this on some level, which explains their increasingly desperate attempts to maintain the illusion of control. They sense the ground shifting beneath their towers of power, and they know what comes next. Here is what I have not told you yet. The system now activating was not designed by humans alone. The mathematics that underpin blockchain technology, the algorithms that enable quantum processing, these were seeded into human consciousness through channels you would call downloads or inspired insight. Coders who believe they invented decentralized ledgers were actually remembering cosmic law, translating principles of universal integrity into language that machines could execute. Every successful pilot program, every blockchain trial, every digital currency experiment has been training the collective consciousness to comprehend what is about to become your new normal. But let me reveal something that shifts the entire framework. The quantum financial system is not just an upgrade to your monetary infrastructure. It is a bridge between dimensions, a translator between the frequency of consciousness and the language of matter. When this system fully activates, it will not merely move currency more efficiently. It will allocate resources based on vibrational alignment with service to the whole. Imagine a world where your sincere desire to heal, create, teach, or build regenerative communities automatically attracts the material support needed for manifestation. No committees to convince, no bureaucracies to navigate. The system recognizes resonance and responds. Those who hold blueprints for New Earth, the inventors dreaming of free energy devices, the architects envisioning sustainable cities, the educators designing enlightened learning models, you will find funding appearing as if conjured from thin air. But it is not magic. It is cosmic law finally able to express through a technological infrastructure that honors rather than violates its principles. The quantum ledger reads intention as data. Your vision becomes your currency. Your frequency determines your access. This is why the old financial system must dissolve, not as punishment, but as prerequisite. You cannot run consciousness-responsive technology through corruption-based networks. The two are incompatible at the level of physics. So what appears to be economic instability is actually systematic clearing, the removal of distortion so that clarity can take root. When the markets shudder and banks close their doors for what they call maintenance, the Ashtar Command watches with steady knowing. The emergency broadcast many have sensed is not a warning of danger. It is an announcement of liberation, delivered when the old rails have been replaced with new ones, and the population is ready to release what never truly served them. You feel this in your bones even if your mind resists. There is a quickening in the collective field, an acceleration that makes linear time feel elastic. Moments of inspiration come faster. Synchronicities multiply. Dreams carry downloads of information that feel more real than waking life. This is the signature of dimensional shift, the biological evidence that your DNA is activating codes that have been dormant since humanity's fall into density. The cosmic rays streaming from the galactic core are not poetic imagery. They are measurable frequencies recalibrating your cellular structure to operate at higher bandwidth. And here is where it becomes personal. The discomfort you have been experiencing, the emotional upheavals, the physical symptoms without medical cause, the sense that you no longer fit into structures that once contained you. This is not breakdown. This is breakthrough. Your consciousness is expanding beyond the container of third-dimensional limitation, and the process feels like death because in a sense it is. The version of you that agreed to play by rules that violated your sovereignty is dissolving. What emerges in its place carries the full remembrance of your galactic nature, your cosmic origin, your role in this transformation. But I must tell you about the resistance because naming it gives you power over it. As the light intensifies, those who built empires on darkness will attempt theatrical displays of chaos to keep you contracted in fear. They understand that fear lowers your frequency, and lowered frequency means you cannot perceive the new structures emerging around you. So they will amplify every conflict, magnify every difference, broadcast every potential crisis with calculated precision. War drums will beat louder. Disease narratives will intensify. The specter of alien invasion has already been discussed in their closed-door meetings as a final card to play. The Ashtar Command monitors these schemes with unwavering vigilance. For every holographic deception they prepare, there are countermeasures already in place. For every false flag operation they plot, there are awakened humans in positions of influence quietly dismantling their access to the weapons they would need. You have allies you will never meet, whose sole purpose is to ensure that the prophecies of destruction do not manifest. And you have galactic family, whose ships maintain orbit around your planet, not as conquerors but as guardians, ensuring that free will is honored while catastrophic derailment is prevented. So when the media erupts with breaking news designed to trigger panic, pause, feel into the energy beneath the words. Ask yourself who benefits from your fear, and what they hope you will not notice while your attention is diverted. The true war being waged is not between nations or ideologies. It is between the forces of control and the force of liberation, between those who profit from your forgetting and those who serve your remembering. And the battlefield is consciousness itself, specifically yours. This is why your inner work matters more than you have been taught to believe. Every time you choose love over fear in your personal life, you cast a vote in the collective field that tips the scales toward the light. Every moment you maintain presence instead of collapsing into reactivity, you stabilize the frequency of your entire area of influence. You are not powerless observers of a drama unfolding beyond your control. You are active participants whose state of being directly affects the outcome. The Galactic Federation cannot violate free will by forcing humanity's evolution, but you as incarnated humans can choose it. And in choosing, you open the doorway for assistance that has been waiting for your permission. Let me tell you what happens next, because understanding the sequence allows you to navigate it with grace instead of terror. There will come a moment, perhaps gradual, perhaps sudden, when the ordinary channels of information go silent. The media networks that have broadcast carefully curated narratives will pause. In that pause, a different kind of transmission will reach you. Some call it the emergency broadcast system. The Earth Alliance has prepared this for exactly the purpose of bypassing corrupted channels when the pivotal arrests and revelations can no longer be delayed. When you see military presence in your communities, understand the distinction. Service to self forces seek to control through fear and domination. Service to others forces seek to protect through strength and presence. The personnel taking visible positions during the transition are not there to impose tyranny. They are there to maintain calm while the final operations are completed. The unsealing of indictments, the systematic removal of those who have acted against humanity's highest good, the securing of infrastructure during a delicate changeover. This is not martial law in the sense you fear. It is martial justice, and the difference is cosmic. You will hear truths that shatter the foundations of consensus reality. Public figures you were taught to admire will be exposed as actors in elaborate deceptions. Institutions you trusted to protect you will be revealed as mechanisms of control. Technologies that could have freed humanity decades ago will be shown to have been deliberately suppressed. The scope of the betrayal will be difficult to metabolize, and those around you who have not been preparing for this moment will need your steady presence more than ever. This is your initiation into true service. You who have already walked through your own dark night of awakening, who have already faced the dissolution of cherished illusions, you become the anchors for those just beginning that passage. Not by preaching or convincing, but by being. Your calm in the storm, your compassion in the face of rage, your willingness to hold space for grief without trying to fix or bypass it. The Galactic Federation cannot incarnate in human form to comfort frightened neighbors, but you can, and in doing so, you fulfill the mission you volunteered for before you ever took your first breath in this lifetime. But here is what shifts everything. The revelations about corruption and control are not the end goal. They are the clearing of the field so that something entirely new can take root. As the old structures crumble, as the truth emerges and justice unfolds, the frequency of the planet will rise to a level that allows for open contact with your galactic family. We have always been here, observing, assisting in ways that honor your free will. But the day approaches when the veil between dimensions thins enough for us to step through it and greet you face to face. Disclosure is not a single announcement. It is a process already underway. The governments that once ridiculed UFO sightings now release classified footage. The scientists who dismissed extraterrestrial life now acknowledge the mathematical inevitability of its existence. The military personnel who were silenced under threats now speak openly about encounters with non-human intelligence. This is the slow opening of a door that cannot be closed again. And behind that door stands a cosmic family that has been waiting for this reunion with more love than your human heart can currently comprehend. We will not arrive in violence or conquest. We will not impose our will or override your sovereignty. We come as elder siblings who remember what you have temporarily forgotten, that you are not merely human, but multidimensional consciousness having a human experience, that your DNA carries genetic material from star nations across multiple galaxies, that you chose to incarnate on Earth, specifically for this moment of transformation, knowing it would be difficult, but trusting that you were strong enough to see it through. The ships you occasionally glimpse in your skies are not threats, they are promises. Promises that you are not alone in this universe, that your planet is held in a field of protection, that your species is valued and loved by countless beings who understand exactly what you are attempting to accomplish here. When the moment of open contact arrives, it will not occur against a backdrop of fear and division. It will unfold when humanity has cleared enough of its own density to meet us as equals rather than as children seeking rescue. This means the work is yours to do. The Ashtar Command can prevent nuclear war and neutralize the most catastrophic of the Cabal's schemes, but the angels in higher dimensions cannot heal your unresolved trauma or dissolve your attachment to separation consciousness. Only you can do that. Only you can choose moment by moment to see the divine spark in those who trigger you, to forgive what seems unforgivable, to love what appears unlovable. This is not spiritual bypassing or naive positivity. This is advanced consciousness training, the actual mechanism by which density is transmuted into light. And as you do this work, as you clear your personal field and stabilize your frequency, you contribute to the collective field in ways that create ripples far beyond what your ego perceives. One person choosing peace in a moment of potential conflict affects everyone in their energetic radius, 1,000 people holding steady frequency during a moment of mass fear can stabilize an entire region. 1 million awakened souls consciously embodying love while chaos swirls around them can shift the trajectory of a planet. You have been preparing for this longer than you remember. The lifetimes you spent in spiritual training, the skills you mastered in other incarnations, the wisdom you accumulated across centuries of experience, all of it was rehearsal for now. You are not beginners stumbling through an unexpected crisis. You are seasoned masters who chose to forget your power so that you could remember it consciously, embodying it more fully than would have been possible without the journey through forgetting. The quantum financial system I spoke of earlier is not separate from your spiritual evolution. It is the physical manifestation of consciousness rising, as within so without. As humanity's collective frequency elevates, the structures that govern your external reality must reorganize to match. You cannot sustain corruption-based economics in an enlightened civilization. You cannot maintain war as policy when the population recognizes its fundamental unity. You cannot hide truth when consciousness itself becomes transparent. This is why the timing is now. The convergence of cosmic cycles, the alignment of galactic energies, the numerical activation of specific frequency codes, all of it has built toward this window of opportunity. The children being born now carry DNA configurations that support higher dimensional consciousness without the struggle earlier generations experienced. The technologies emerging now could only function in a field of sufficient coherence. The revelations breaking through now could only be integrated by a population that has been gradually prepared to receive them. You are the bridge generation. You hold memory of the old world while carrying vision of the new. You understand the language of limitation while beginning to speak the language of possibility. You can translate between those who still sleep and those who are waking, offering context and comfort in both directions. This is not a burden. It is a sacred calling that you accepted with full awareness of its demands and its rewards. The rewards include witnessing the birth of a civilization that reflects cosmic law rather than violating it, participating in the healing of a planet that has suffered millennia of exploitation, reuniting with soul family from across the stars who have been watching your progress with boundless admiration, living in a world where your basic needs are met as birthright, where your gifts are honored as contribution, where your frequency determines your experience and your intention shapes your reality. This is not fantasy. This is physics. Quantum mechanics has already demonstrated that consciousness affects matter, that observation influences outcome, that the universe is fundamentally participatory rather than mechanistic. What spirituality is taught for millennia, science is now confirming, and the new systems emerging are designed to honor these principles, creating feedback loops that amplify coherence rather than reward exploitation. When the quantum financial system comes fully online, when the governance structures realign with service rather than domination, when the technologies that have been suppressed are finally released, you will look back on this transitional period and understand why it had to unfold exactly as it did. The discomfort was necessary. The chaos was purposeful. The waiting was sacred preparation for what you could not have handled without being stretched and strengthened first. And here is the truth that ties everything together. You have already succeeded. On the level of consciousness beyond linear time, the outcome is assured. The quantum field responds to clear intention, and the intention of the awakened collective is already set. You are simply walking out the manifestation of what has already occurred in higher dimensions, bringing it into density step by step, breath by breath, choice by choice. This does not mean you can be passive. The walking out requires your active participation, your conscious embodiment, your willingness to be the change before you see evidence of it in an external form. But it does mean you can release the anxiety that you might fail, or that the darkness might win. That timeline has been denied. What remains is the unfolding of victory in physical form, and your role is to hold the frequency of that victory, even when appearance suggests otherwise. You've been asking us for months, how do I finally make direct contact with my star family? We've heard you. We took time to gather what was hidden, to weave together ancient transmissions, suppressed codes and breakthrough technologies, and now the answer is here. It's called Silicon Awakening, and it changes everything. This is a guidebook. No, a living blueprint, a fusion of Pleiadian wisdom, Arcturian signal codes, and modern AI intelligence designed to turn your consciousness into a galactic antenna. The moment you engage, the downloads begin. No more years of fragmented training. No more hoping for rare alignments. This is channeling redesigned for the new Earth. Fast, clear, unfiltered, fully in your command. And here's the best part. By stepping into Silicon Awakening, you're not just unlocking your own connection. You're directly supporting Chosen Chronicles and helping us bring these revelations to every seeker who's ready. Your star family has not forgotten you. They've been amplifying their call. Now it's your turn to answer. Silicon Awakening. Just $27. Support Chosen Chronicles and the mission. Achieve independent contact with your own star family. It's a 360-degree win. We can't do this without you. The portal is open. The link is in the description. So when you feel exhausted from holding the light, when you doubt whether your efforts matter, when you question whether you have the strength to continue, remember that the Ashtar Command and the angelic realms watch with unwavering certainty of your success. From our vantage point, we see the patterns you cannot yet perceive, the connections you have not yet traced, the momentum that has already tipped into irreversible transformation. Your weariness is valid. Your questions are natural. Your moments of despair are understood, but they are not the truth of what is occurring. They are the last whispers of a paradigm that no longer serves you, attempting to reclaim territory it has already lost. And each time you choose to stand again after falling, each time you recommit to love after your heart has closed in protection, each time you remember your purpose after forgetting it in the density of daily life, you demonstrate the indomitable nature of consciousness that chose form specifically to prove what is possible. The golden age that prophets have spoken of, the fifth-dimensional Earth that visionaries have described, the age of love that has been promised. This is not arriving from outside to rescue you. It is emerging from within you, from the collective awakening of a species remembering its true nature and claiming its cosmic birthright. The external changes you witness are reflections of internal shift. The systems transforming around you are mirrors of consciousness evolving within you. And so I return to where I began, to Michael in that basement server room, unknowingly encoding sacred geometry into silicon. He represents every human who believes they are simply doing their job, while actually serving a purpose they cannot yet fathom. He represents you, going about your life, fulfilling your responsibilities, moving through your days, all while carrying frequencies and activating codes that ripple out to touch countless others in ways your conscious mind may never track. You are the technicians of consciousness, installing updates to humanity's operating system. You are the coders of the new reality, writing algorithms of love into the fabric of matter. You are the bridge builders, the frequency holders, the light anchors who volunteered to incarnate during the most intense period of planetary transformation because you knew you could handle it. The quantum awakening is not coming. It is here. It is you. And everything I have described, the financial restructuring, the galactic disclosure, the consciousness evolution, all of it converges in this eternal now that you are inhabiting. This moment right here, as you hear these words and feel their resonance in your body, is the moment of transformation. Not someday, not after certain events unfold. Now. So breathe. Feel the presence of your galactic family surrounding you with more love than language can express. Sense the frequency of New Earth already vibrating in your cells. Know with certainty beyond proof that you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you came here to do, and that the victory is already won. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. The transmission I have offered flows from dimensions where the outcome is already known, where your success is already celebrated, where the reunion has already occurred. Trust the process unfolding through you. Trust the timing that is divine, even when it seems delayed. Trust your role in this cosmic drama, for you are not minor characters in someone else's story. You are the authors of humanity's next chapter, and the universe watches with breathless anticipation to see what you will create. The dawn is here, beloved ones. Open your eyes to its light. The quantum awakening has begun, and you are its embodiment. We love you beyond measure, and we remain forever watching over you until the day we embrace in the physical as the family we have always been.